we want to use is fine as well. But I'm just using these items. I collected these last class, mostly because I like the pattern and the color and the texture of everything. So here are the supplies that I have so far. I've got my painting, I've got my mixed media materials, I've got a nice pair of scissors, and I have two types of glue, and you can use either one. It depends on what you have and what you're comfortable with. I've got my hot glue and I've got my Elmer's glue, so I'll show you how to use both. If you do use the hot glue, make sure that you've used this before and you know what you're doing. Please don't just go dig out your mom or dad's hot glue gun without any supervision if you've never used it before, because it is something that can actually hurt you. It's really, really hot. Mine has two settings on it. It has really hot and low. So I might recommend that maybe you use the low setting so you don't burn yourself. And I'm going to teach you some strategies for avoiding getting burned by the glue. And you can just use your regular Elmer's glue. I do not think that a glue stick will be enough. So I don't know if glue stick will work for you. So I recommend one of these. So we're going to just get started here. So I have a pretty complicated pattern, and I'm hoping to cover most of it with textiles and all my mixed media materials. And then once I kind of glue stuff down, then I can make a decision about, like, am I going to do any stitching or any tying of anything or anything fun like that. Let me trigger my lights on again. Of course, if you have any questions, please just shout them out. So I started with this is like packing material, and I don't remember even where I got it, but when I pulled it out, I love this diamond shape, and it went really well with the centerpiece here. So I've already cut that out, and I just hot glued it down. So now I can go in and really try to kind of match up the colors with what I've got going on here, and know that I don't have to cover every single inch of this. So I think I'm going to start with the big shapes, like maybe find some fabric or mixed media to go around this bigger diamond. You can also choose colors and textures that are in contrast to the ones that you have down on your painting. This is all wrapped up here. So I've got a yellow diamond here, so it might be fun to lay down a green ribbon on top of it, and it'll just make it pop. So first thing I'm going to do is measure out the lengths that I need, and I'm going to cut them one at a time because I'm suspecting that they're probably all a little bit different. And this doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. It really can have some kind of fun character and whimsy to it in its imperfection. Think of the painting as a guide for where you're going to lay down your mixed media. This could take you quite a bit of time, which is totally okay. I haven't even set a due date for this yet because I want to see what happens. So I'm going to show you how to lay down your Elmer's glue to put this down, because I think it would work best for this. So I've got an old paintbrush that I don't care about because it's going to get stiff and I'm going to have to throw it away after I use it if I don't wash it out really well. And I'm just going to dip it right in to my glue and just get a good coat on there. Elmer's glue dries clear, so you don't have to worry about it covering up your painting. Get a good amount down. You don't want your stuff to fall off after. Okay, and then I'm just going to lay this down and make sure it's stuck on there real good. Elmer's glue is really handy. I don't know if you guys have ever done something called decoupage. Decoupage is kind of like cutting out magazine pieces and creating a collage, and then putting really heavy layers of Elmer's glue on top, and it kind of creates sort of like a shellac, and it seals all of your collage in. Okay, and of course Elmer's glue takes longer to dry than your hot glue is, which is fine. And then I want to just kind of go around, and this is the fun part, right? This is the part where we get to play around. So maybe I want a loop, and maybe I want this to stick out a little bit. So let me show you how to use the hot glue in a safe way. You never want to put a bead down and then push it with your finger. Obviously you're going to get burnt. So if I wanted to make a little loop with my yarn here, I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to put a little bead down. And then I'm going to use, this is like my fake finger, this is like my cardboard finger. And I'm going to put this down first, and then I'm going to use the cardboard to press. Just being careful that I'm not putting my finger in it. And I can't leave it there too long or it'll glue itself to the piece, but just long enough to kind of press it together. I'm going to hold this up so you can kind of see a little bit better. So I just glued that little loop down. And I'll probably go around and do one for every little white circle, half circle here. So I'm just probably going to work my way from the center out and just continue to add my textures on with gluing. It's going to take a while, but by the time you're done, you're going to be really kind of amazed at how beautiful this is going to be, very textured and three-dimensional. All right, so I'm going to continue working on this while you guys are working, but I want to give you a lot of time today to get some stuff done. So if you could, in the chat, if you could tell me how many, what stage you're in. Like, are you done with your painting, or I have more painting to do, or I'm ready to glue my stuff down? Just everybody give me a little pulse on where you're at in the chat. Yeah, I suspected everyone's just starting to paint because we didn't really give enough time last class for that. I kind of just did my demo and then that was it.
Miss Granger,
Mm-hmm.
can we use like pebbles to put on our thing?
Sure.
If we